busiest shift of the whole lot. Because that's as soon as I put the power off at midnight, all the contractors went in, all the maintenance staff went in to do their work. So from 12 o'clock till 4:30 in the morning, the phones just never stop ringing. We've got battery locomotives as well going into the system to either re-rail or any faults that are found in the track, they go down and sort that out. So the night shift is busy. When the trains are running fine and there's no problems with the trains, it can be very, very quiet up here. Because nobody's phoning you with problems, you're not dealing with problems, so you're basically just watching, see how busy the stations are. We've got 5 substations that feed the system. One here at Broomloan, which is just across the road. This is Broomloan Depot there. Byers Road, which is at Hill Head. Dundasville, which is at Cowcaddens. Bridge Street, there's a substation there, and also at Cornwall Street, which is, Cornwall Street's at Kinnan Park. So the 5 substations that feed all the system. If one of the substations is faulty, we can still run the system, because the live rail is fed, it's double end fed, it's fed from one substation to the next substation, and it's also fed back the way again. So we can do without one substation for maintenance purposes and stuff like that. If we've got a problem with maybe 2 substations, then we would need to start thinking of reducing the service, because it's using too much power. The breakers wouldn't cope with it, all the drawing of power at one time. That if we've got to detrain passes into the station, then obviously there's a lot of safety procedures. I've got to make sure that power's off in the right circle, double check that the live rail is showing off. Although the 2 breakers might be open, the track might still be shown live, because it takes, if there's a train in that area, it does take a wee while for it to actually show that it's off, because the motor alternators in the train, that keeps hold of the electricity for a wee while before it dies down. Then the station master, he's got a plunger that he presses in the platform, which he pushes it in, and these small T's would go yellow, which that wouldn't allow me to put the power on, so that's his protection. He also puts shortening bars down on the live rail and on the track bed as well. The driver would do the exact same, and we've got ladders and all that to put down on the track. Down the ramps very shortly. I'll give them a signal now till this one go through, and you'll actually see the 2 of them going down the ramps together, which doesn't happen very often. So we call this area, all the white bit that you see up there is a controlled area, which once the trains pass it and I can cancel routes, it allows me to either put trains into the system or bring trains back out of the system again.
Control room, Jim Govan. Hello. Yeah, neighbour. Okay.
117, go ahead, pass your message over. Roger, and 557 transferred to you from Kevin. Roger, and while you're on, that's 313 getting in the system, so you will be a couple of minutes at Ibrox. Over. So I've gave those 2 drivers signals, proceed signals from the head shunt. So if we want to go in, we can actually see them going down the ramps, which very few people will see. So that's the 2 trains actually leaving the head shunts at the moment. That's them starting to go down into the system. And you'll actually see them coming round this bend very shortly. There you are, if anybody's want to take a photograph or anything, you can see them going down the ramps. Get out your road. I see it every day. Fed up seeing it. So that's him going into the system. One's going into Govan on the outer, and the other one going into Ibrox. bottom camera, right, sorry, that bottom monitor there, it's just below the sign for Govan. You'll actually see that train coming out of the station very shortly. So this is us going on to our 6 trains a side, which makes it a 4-minute service. So it's the best service that we can get. We don't have the fleet. That's our maximum. We've got one other train which is in for maintenance just now, but that's certified and breakdown now. Speaker.
Control to route 14, over.
So how long does this service on for?
Sorry, hold on.
Laura, can you phone Tommy Hepburn in his office, please, from the platform there?
Sorry, what were you saying there?
I was just asking how long does the service run for? Were you saying until 6 or something?
We'll run 6 aside now till 6 o'clock at night.
6 o'clock.
And then we bring 2 out at 6 o'clock, which brings it down to 5 aside. 7 o'clock we bring another 2 out, which goes down to 4 aside, and then we bring another 2 out about 20 past 7, and
Right.
that brings it down to 3 aside. So that's the worst service that we'll have is 3 aside, which is 8 minutes.
Right,
An
okay.
8-minute service.
Unless, of course, there's a match at Ibrox, in which case we'll stay in all
Well,
night.
yeah. If we've got a special event or anything like that, then we keep extra trains in.
I take it you don't have to manually control signals on the main loops, that just does it?
No, it's all automatic. It's done with the passage of the trains. The only, I can obviously, if I see somebody falling the track or anything like that, I can change a signal. I can change a green signal back to red for protection.
Yeah.
What I cannot do, I cannot change a red signal to green.
Oh, really?
That's impossible for me to do. All I can do is replace it, and then once all the relays prove out that the section ahead's clear and all the safety aspects of it is, then it would go to green. But I can't physically change it to green. It's the passages of the trains that do it.
Yeah.
If you look at Kirkcans at the moment, on here, that train is just about to leave the outer circle at Kirkcans, that's on there. Signal's green at the moment, so away it goes. So once it goes on to this track circuit here, and the last wheel passes that signal will go red. Okay? So that's the signal went red. Now, that signal will stay red until that train has left Buchanan Street, and it's what they call the overrun for that signal. It's a safety overrun. It's a safe braking distance that if a train does overrun a station, it won't catch up the next train. So it's a safe braking distance. Once that train that's at left Buchanan, that's the safety of the overrun. The station behind that goes green. So that was red 2 seconds ago. But once the train passes that, and all the relays prove out that the section's clear, there's nothing in that track, then it would change it to green. The only other things that would make that go red is if we get a broken rail, the track circuit would show it was occupied, so it breaks the circuit, so the track would stay down then. So if it stayed down and we know that there's not a train there, then we either know there's a broken rail in there or there's flooding. It's only 2 things that can affect it. Pardon me. So that's all the trains in. I've normalised all this route again, and I've put it on what we call the fleet setting, which means that the signals will change all day long with the passage of the trains. All the alarm systems come back here. The fire alarm systems, security alarm systems, pump panels. With it being underground, we've got pumps running in the tunnels 24 hours a day. It might be dry at the moment, but there's still water seepage going in. Not a lot, but these pumps just keep it dry. It's actually, the system's going dry. The driest areas in the system is under the Clyde, because it's all cast iron. So it's blowing dry under there. We will never see water in there at all. Pardon me, at some of the stations you'll see it, Kelvin Bridge is bad for it, because the Kelvin's there, we get water seepage coming in the tunnel there. But you'll see kind of stagnant water lying in what we call the suicide pit. It does work. We've had people get knocked down with the train and knocked into the suicide pit and they've survived. Even jumped in front of the train and it knocks them into what we call a suicide pit. And there it's there. It's between, see there, see the gap? between the two running rails. There's a dip in it. If you ever at the station, you'll see the dip.
Yeah.
That's, somebody could lie there and the train go over them and it'll hardly hit them. We've been very fortunate. We've had one fatality in 37 years. And that was at Kinnan Park, and I was on, unfortunately. But I wasn't doing this job, I was doing Jim's job at the time. Driver, or we can talk to all the drivers. If we have a problem in the system, then we start holding the trains up so it doesn't get like a wagon train type of thing. We try and keep it spaced out. So if a driver's sitting at a station for 2 minutes, he's duty bound to call me up and say, look, I've been sitting at this signal for 2 minutes, what's the delay or what's the problem? So if we know what the problem is, then we just put a group call out saying, look, all drivers in the inner circle, with traffic delay ahead, with a faulty train set Buchanan Street, we're hoping that will be moving shortly. That saves me getting six calls in. It also lets the drivers know, to let the passengers know, that there's going to be a delay because there's a problem at Buchanan Street. Again, I would put an announcement out to everywhere, staff and passengers, saying, look, we've a defective train at Buchanan Street, there's a slight delay in the inner circle. So that lets everybody know. It saves everybody getting uptight about it. If you tell people things that's happening, they're generally quite okay about it, as long as you give them plenty of information. No.
Control room,
All
Jim
information sometimes. Sometimes we tell
Okay,
them that
cheers, thanks, man.
defective train's now moving and we think everything's going to be alright, and it gets to the next station and collapses again. No.
Control room, Jim Gilmer.
That's the split section. So these costs are
So there's obviously track alignment problems just inherent, they've built up over the years. All these things have to be addressed. You can go online on the SPT website, and there's a link that takes you into the walkthrough for Hill Head, and it'll let you see what the new station's going to look like.
I must do that.
I say this is supposed to be the new colours. The right S is used for the subway, in an inner circle, target, and there's they call it swoosh. It's called a swoosh or something. And the idea being it's an artist's thing that you can through the tunnels or